front shoves. Pretty easy trick. You know what's not an easy trick? Talking to a camera, apparently. So, this is the first time you're gonna have any really prolonged exposure to my voice or face. But that's okay, and I'm gonna get through it. I've been motivated by some peers to make a trick tutorial on the front shove. It's one of my best tricks. Now, I'm no pro skater or anything, but I would say I'm pretty good at front shoves, so hopefully you can learn something. First things first. Foot placement and the rotation. Now, the rotation is very important because you kind of have to understand how a trick works before you can really land it. Or at least that's how I learned. When I first started, I was trying to get the board to pivot like this, pop, and then rotate. Now, this is wrong for a couple reasons, but the main one is, think about the center of gravity of the board. It's right here in the middle. When you pop and pivot, you're giving the center of gravity a rotation this way, but you're also giving it velocity this way. So every time that I would attempt them, they'd fly backwards behind me. Now, I hear this is a very, very common problem, and here's how you fix it. Stop thinking about pivoting your board like this, and start thinking about shoving this into the board in a circle like this. That's what's gonna give you that super clean rotation that's directly under your feet. The more you shove this forwards, the better it's gonna look. The next thing is foot positioning. Foot positioning goes as follows. Some people have it like this, where the front foot is near the bolts, their back foot's in the pocket. This does work, but there's one problem. When you pop, and your foot comes back like this to get out of the way, when the board rotates and comes up, it's gonna hit your foot like this. I had this problem for a very long time. Now, a couple of people that I know, and me personally, put your foot right in the middle. This not only helps the board rotate, but also when you pop and it comes back, the board is no longer in a direct path towards your foot, and it can rotate under you a lot easier. The problem with this is you have to compensate a lot more in order to get a nice pop. Meaning it's kind of harder to do the trick itself, but it's easier to get out of the way. So as long as you have a good shove, this is the best foot placement for you. But if your pop is kind of weak, or if you're super like new to it or not comfortable, keep it up here because it makes the shove easier. Now, the next really important part is the shove itself. When you're up on the board, I like to put my foot in the back pocket like this, okay? So it's back here, and you have to push forwards like this. Now, you have to really push it forwards, especially if you're using the higher foot placement. You gotta think about kicking down and forwards into the ground, like this. Now, no, I didn't land that, but again, that's just a representation. So, the more you push down, the higher it's gonna pop. But that means you kind of have to gauge exactly where the sweet spot is between down and forwards. So if you push at an angle that's super flat, you're not gonna get any pop, it's just gonna spin like this. If you push super down and a little bit towards the ground, it's gonna pop and kind of spin like that. And you know, if you pop and push down really, really hard, you can get it all the way around, but it's gonna pop super high. I mean, I can try to give an example, but here. Oh, yeah, that's weird. Now, all of my normal fellows who aren't goofy like me, that's gonna be the other side of the board. Obviously, still in the middle, but you're gonna be on this pocket instead, and it's just the exact same thing. You have to focus on pushing the board out like this. Remember, the more you push it forwards, the more it's gonna be under. Eventually, you can get it to where you just kind of poof, and it goes. I can't really describe it any better than that. You just do it enough times that you kind of, it just clicks. That motion really gets embedded in there, and you can just kind of, and it lands. I am gonna try one switch just because I think it's gonna be funny. But here we go. Regular, oh, I'm sorry, this is goofy for me. So switch is normal. Remember, you want to keep your knees bent, okay? Stay on the balls of your toes, because if you're super heel side, okay, your board is gonna it's gonna flip like this, and it's not gonna look real great. So keep on the balls of your feet so that the board stays level out, okay? And then just, oh my gosh, why is this so scary? Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, once you get good at it, you can kind of hang your toes off, or you can keep them level with the board. Like, I like to keep my toes right in line with the board like this, but I have seen a lot of people do it like this. It just depends on your preference. And I really would keep your back foot in the pocket, just because that really helps you get a lot of momentum out of that to push it down and under you. And again, you just give it a little shove and a little pop, and it works. Hope that helps.